Hello everyone, the Vern here from Cinema Recall. Like most other podcasters out there, I used to worry about finding a good hosting site that will allow me to post episodes without worrying about space or my bank account. Well, with Anchor, I no longer have those worries. With Anchor, they have all the great tools that make podcasting very easy, not only on a desktop, but on your smartphone as well. Plus, they will do the work to get your show on multiple podcast players such as Spotify, Stitcher, Podchaser, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and much, much more. You can earn money with limited listeners too. And the best thing of all, they will do this all for free. That's right, free. So go to Anchor FM today. Hey everyone, the Vern here. Welcome to this edition of the Cinema Recall podcast. Our special guest is Bob Dearden, who is the writer of Cobra Kai and iZombie, and he did some work on Veronica Mars movie. Really great guy. It was a fun show. Apparently, during our live recording, me and Ashley could hear Bob no problem, but our audience could not hear him at all. So, yeah, there is some technical issues going on with this episode, but I promise you it'll be a fun one. Shout out to Chris Revel of Let's Chat with Chris Revel. And big thank you for getting the interview set up with us. It was a lot of fun. And I gotta say, despite the audio issues we had, it still is a pretty entertaining show. And I hope you all enjoy it very much. Don't forget to leave us a rating and a review over on Apple Podcast. We also will accept reviews on Spotify, because they do reviews now. Also, Podchaser is a great way to show your support. So yeah, iTunes, Apple Podcast, Podchaser, any of the platforms you can review on, please do. We will read a review on our show, and I'm going to try to do that for our next live show as well. So yes, be sure to do that. And I'll be reading some extra comments on the page. But yeah, here's the show. Bob Dearden. Thank you all for listening and enjoy. This podcast is a proud member of the Let's Chat Club. Find out how you can become a member by going to the website letschatpodcast.net. The following podcast will contain foul language, possible movie spoilers, and will be deemed problematic by most listeners. Enjoy. I apologize. No, I'm on my.
I'm gonna switch to.
Here it is. Okay, I got it. It's there.
Oh, for pity's sake!
It just took a while to find the link, so I can actually.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
Did you do it?
I did.
Vern did it, you guys.
I did. I found the link here.
You guys, Vern did it.
So, hi everyone, Cinema Recall. I'm Vern. That's Ashley.
Hi.
Our special guest this week is the one and only Bob Dearden. Before that, me and Ashley actually saw a few things in the world of cinema.
Yes, we did.
Now, I went and saw The Batman.
The Batman.
Not just Batman.
Not just the Batman.
I guess apparently the definitive Batman.
The definitive Batman. The epitome of Batman.
This is apparently they want this to be the one and only Batman. Okay. This is the movie directed by Matt Reeves, who did a lot of the Planet of the Apes sequels, the recent.
Oh, those were good.
Planet of the Apes movies. Mm-hmm. He also directed Cloverfield.
That was a great movie. Yes.
All right. He did the remake of Let the Right One In with Chloe Grace Moretz. But this new Batman, it has Robert Pattinson. Mm-hmm. It's got Zoe Kravitz. It has a unrecognizable Colin Farrell as the Penguin.
Oh yeah, I've seen pictures of him as Penguin.
And I gotta say, it's a solid movie.
Yeah?
It's over 3 hours long.
Holy balls!
But it doesn't feel like 3 hours.
That's too long.
And I had to pee. I had to pee really badly.
Did you empty a cup and just
no.
Go for it?
Nope. I just held it in while I watched the movie.
This is why when you said we need to have intermissions, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to make people sit through a 3-hour movie.
Because here's the thing, too. Now, when you go into a theater, the movie just doesn't start. You have to watch 20 or 30 minutes of previews.
Yep.
When you go to a movie, at least the movies I go to, There's about 20 minutes of previews. And then what really irritates me the most is that, especially at AMC, and I'm calling you at AMC, is that when the trailers are done, then it plays another ad for AMC.
The AMC.
And then it just plays
As
another ad.
if you're not already at AMC Theater, but just so you know,
It plays,
keep coming back.
It plays one ad for AMC Theaters, like, hey, you're at AMC Theaters. Like, I knew I was at AMC Theaters. And then Nicole Kidman comes on and says, movies are great, and it's so great seeing things on a silver screen because I'm here at AMC Theaters. And AMC, okay, I know that. And then when I went and saw Batman, it was an IMAX, so yet there was another ad for IMAX on top of that. So
yeah.
But it got in the movie.
It's like overkill. It's overkill.
It was overkill. I mean, overall, it was a great movie, The Batman. I don't think it's the best of it, though, but I would compare it more to what we call here, that Christopher Nolan trilogy with Batman Begins and The Dark Knight.
Oh, sure.
It's that, it feels like that same type of world. Mm-hmm. The best way to describe it without giving spoilers is that, do you remember the movie Seven?
Yes. Bob?
It's David Fincher.
Yes.
So the new Batman feels like it's those movies, like Zodiac and Seven.
Okay.
But it has Batman in there.
Okay.
All right.
But you liked it.
I did. It just didn't really feel like Batman to me. It just felt like its own separate detective story.
Okay. So was it more like a noir detective?
Yeah, it's very much a noir detective. And that's apparently what Batman
was supposed to be, right?
In the comics right there, too. But it's weird when you're seeing, like, the Riddler dressing up like the Zodiac Killer.
What?
Yeah, because they want to keep everything in a realistic world and everything like that. I didn't think Zoe Kravitz played a great Catwoman, just because Catwoman's supposed to be, cunning. She's a con artist.
Right.
She uses her sexuality to, get things from people.
Yep.
And this one, not as much.
No.
And she's just kind of wearing a fucking knit thing. Or she looks like a...
It's not even leather?
It's not even leather, no.
Well, that's a disappointment.
Yeah, but...
I'm sorry, but if I thought Zoe Kravitz is a hot babe, right? But if I go thinking Catwoman, because when I think Catwoman, I think Eartha Kitt, right?
Kitt, yeah.
I think
Michelle Pfeiffer.
And I don't want to see somebody in a poly blend cotton knit outfit.
No.
I want to see leather, baby.
With the whips and everything like that.
Ooh, give it to me.
Goddamn.
All day long.
Is there a place?
Excuse me a minute. I have to go get a drink. No, I'm just kidding.
I want to visit one of these places now. It's like a Catwoman fetish club.
There should be.
God damn it!
It should be like a cat cafe, but it starts at 10 at night.
Oh, I like that.
And it's just women dressed as cats. That'd be amazing.
I want that so bad.
We get off.
We're
we get sidetracked.
Okay.
Sorry,
so,
sidetracked.
The Batman.
Bob's like, I'm down.
Yeah.
When is this cafe open?
Overall, I give the Batman a 5. I give it 4 stars.
Okay.
Very well done. I think each generation is going to have its own Batman movie.
Of course.
So we had Batman '89, and then Batman '66. That's their people's Batman. People are really connected with like the Christopher Nolan trilogy.
Yeah. Well, don't forget about the Val Kilmer Batman.
That's the Val Kilmer, the Michael Keaton. That's all kind of the same realm. They all come in those few years of each other.
Maybe, but I put those two in different categories.
All right. But I will say this new Batman, Robert Pattinson, is about as good as Michael Keaton.
Shut your mouth.
Yeah, I'm not making shit up here. Yeah.
Did they get all of the glitter off him from his previous movies?
Oh, he hates talking. He
hates
those
movies.
Does. He hates those movies so bad. But you saw something recently on the Hulu. It's a little thriller called Fresh. And before we talk about this movie, I recommend our listeners or watchers to just go watch it.
Oh, yeah.
And don't read too much about it.
I think you should be able to guess kind of what genre it is based on just what is that called?
Poster?
The poster? Is that what they're calling it?
The poster, yeah, the image art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Image art.
The trailer? Even the trailer kind of gives you something.
I didn't watch the trailer.
Oh, you're good. Nope. Yes. Oh.
I was like, you said don't read anything about it. So I didn't. I just went in and it's first 20 minutes.
So we should play it too. So it's got Sebastian Stan.
Yep.
and Daisy Edgar-Jones.
Yeah, I don't know who she is.
I don't know either, but she plays a woman who's kind of burned out from dating.
Yep.
Shows her an opening date with this really creepy guy.
Who is that guy? That's he was in the that thing you do. You remember that?
That was Tom Everett Scott?
Yeah,
Really?
It looked like him. I could be wrong.
I don't know.
If so, he has not aged 20 years, but it looked like him. I don't think
could
it
be
is.
his son.
Maybe.
All right.
Anyway, she goes on this date, and it's horrible.
It's horrible. And so she kind of gives up on dating, and then she meets this guy at a grocery store, and he's charming, says a kind of lame jokes, but she's really kind of drawn to him.
Yes.
Oh.
And she goes on a few dates with him, and all seems great except no media presence, no Instagram, no Facebook. Already I was like, shady, right? Shadier than an Oak Grove. I was like, if you don't even have Facebook, I'm sorry. I don't trust you. I don't trust you 1 minute. But she decides she's going to let him take her on a weekend away. That's a surprise. So, and the surprise is she's going to be fresh. It's insane. You don't even see it coming. It goes from like rom-com to batshit crazy so fast. It's nuts. Like, I was like, oh, this isn't where I thought this was going, but I'm strapped in.
Overall, I think if you know the premise of really ruin it because
I had a feeling.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, and I like the fact, too, that the movie actually starts when the opening credits. Because the things don't get crazy until after the opening credits.
Yes. It's rom-com. And then as soon as shit goes awry, that's when the opening credits start.
That's the movie kind of starts. Like, oh, I totally forgot.
Yeah. You forgot that hasn't happened yet. Yeah. Oh. It's a real thing.
Only other movie where they put the credits like midway through a movie is Climax.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Climax is about a group of dancers in Paris, and they're getting ready to prepare for, party. They're going to go on tour, and someone decides to spike the sangria with acid.
Oh, fuck.
And just right when the acid kicks in, that's when the movie starts.
Oh, that would be a real rough night at work.
It's very insane right there.
It'd be real rough.
Yeah. So those are kind of our two recommendations, The Batman and Fresh. Over on our website, cinemarecall.net, I have written reviews about these two movies and a few others. Fresh you can watch right now on Hulu.
Yeah, and it's free, so if I spoiled it for you, you didn't spend $14 at the theater.
Exactly.
You're welcome.
See? We are going to take a small little break right now. We're going to play some ad spots from some other great shows, and then we'll be back with Mr. Bob Dearden. So stay tuned, all right?
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey listeners, it's Duncan from GDT Podcast, here to tell you about our show. On GDT Podcast, it's always a good day to talk about movies. Hosted by Gardner, Duncan, and Taryn, we discuss movies we love and interview independent filmmakers. Join us for in-depth interviews with your favorite independent filmmakers, like Jim Burkett, creator of Coherence, Greg Sestero from The Room, and many, many more. If you're interested in independent movies or want to make your own film, this is the podcast for you. Check out our show anywhere you listen to podcasts by searching the letters G, D, T, and follow us on Twitter at GoodDataPod.
Welcome to this trailer of Let's Chat. I'm your host and producer, Chris Revel. Let's Chat is a conversational exploration of subcultures. I, Chris Revel, use my background in behavioral health and pop culture obsession to connect with guests from the worlds of punk rock, podcast, and pop culture. There are over 200 episodes for your enjoyment, so make sure you check out our back catalog while we have some of the biggest names in the industries and folks who work behind the scenes. While we have your fill with writers from The Simpsons, Bob's Burgers, Cobra Kai, The Daily Show, Mary Tyler Moore, and so much more. Let's Chat is more than a podcast, it's a community. Join myself and producer Bree and all of our friends and guests in our Let's Chat community Facebook group and find us on social media at Let's Chat Podcast.
Hola.
Hola. Hello again. Thank you for that small little break. We were kind of freezing up there right now, but we have with us Mr. Bob Dearden. Welcome to the show, Bob.
Hey, Bob. You handsome devil. Look at you.
This has been incredibly fun. Bob Dearden is a screenwriter, of the series Cobra Kai and iZombie. I did some work on Veronica Mars' movie. Did you have to do like any special preparation when adapting a movie, especially a movie that has many sequels, to possibly another person? Was there any issues going on with that when you were trying to, develop the show in the third season?
Well, all of that is above my pay grade. I know you see the hat and the haircut, and you're like, well, this guy's obviously top of the food chain and quite wealthy.
Of course he is. Look at him.
I'm not actually in charge of the show. In the beginning, I've heard a lot of stories, from the showrunners about what went down in the first couple seasons, and even before the first season in terms of getting it, off the ground. So I think the first obviously hurdle to clear was getting the two leads, Billy Zabka and Ralph Macchio, of course. And I think it was, it took some selling to convince them to revisit these characters and to make sure that the visions all lined up, in terms of how the showrunners kind of saw them nowadays, and if that matched with where the actors hoped their characters might be at this point in their lives if they were to go back to them. But then as you go forward, you get into more and more of the legacy characters, from the original movie and all the sequels. And I think every time out, the hope on our side is like, let's shoot for the moon and hope that we get Elizabeth Shue and hope that we get, Thomas Ian Griffith and stuff like that. And I believe there's always a process that I'm not privy to that, probably isn't always an automatic yes. So there's some convincing and some selling to do on their part. But the thing that seems universal in terms of connecting with all these actors and bringing them back to reprise these characters is that the showrunners have a very obvious and deep connection and love for the trilogy. And I think that probably comes through both in the, just in the kind of small talk and salesmanship of it, but also in terms of what they lay out as like, here's where we think so-and-so is now. So having that, that level of kind of, commitment and interest and love for these characters, I think is a big help. And then as the series goes on and when it went to Netflix and kind of blew up, I don't think that hurts either, where you're like, it's a #1 show every time it debuts. Do you want to come play in our sandbox? A lot of people are, I think, probably swayed by the success of it and the prominence of it.
Yeah. I have a question. When you're writing, who is your favorite character that you like to write for? Do you have a character that you really like, feel like you're really have a good voice for? I mean, I love writing for all of them, which is a bullshit answer, but I'll
How dare
go a little
you.
deeper. Like,
I love all my kids.
Yeah, that's what I say too. All of them.
Well, the advantage, I guess, of coming into a show late in the game like that, when it's already had a couple of very successful seasons, is, you have favorite characters as a viewer, and you can enter it from that perspective. And also, you've heard them, and you know their voice, and you can hear it in your head when you're trying to write for them. That makes it so much easier sometimes to kind of continue what's already been established. One of the characters I really enjoy writing for is now I'm forgetting her name, Amanda LaRusso, Courtney. And what I like about that character is she's one of the only adults who calls out the fact that it's so absurd that everyone is so invested in karate and just how ridiculous it all is.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's the conceit you have to go with, right?
She's like,
Is that Daniel's wife, right?
Daniel.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. And she's like, are there going to be more people?
Yeah,
that was funny.
Her snarky attitude about the whole thing is kind of a stand-in to some extent to the viewers who are like, come on, like karate's never been that important anywhere ever. Having her voice that is fun. Obviously, everything that Johnny does that's sort of retro and clueless is always fun.
That is funny.
But like all the characters, the cool thing about the show is that there's so many characters, but they're all so well drawn and distinct.
Yeah.
That you can build toward real, kind of like not fan service, but like everyone gets their moment in a way where you're like, if they're your favorite character, you get that little piece of being able to cheer for them and cheer along with them. So yeah.
What's been great about the show?
Answer, sorry.
No, it's great. Thank you.
Now, I've got introduced to your name through our good buddy Chris of Let's Chat with Chris Revel, because he's a big fan of the show iZombie. Now, when working on, because you started joining on that show around the third season, or was it?
No, that one I was there from before the beginning.
Oh, you were there. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay,
No, it's Cobra Kai. That was the third.
okay,
Right.
Yep. But
I worked on iZombie as an assistant during the pilot process. Then I was the writer's assistant during season 1. I only joined the writing staff season 2.
all right, very cool indeed. And then, speaking of our good buddy Chris, because I had to write this down, Chris Revel actually had a question to ask you. All right.
Perfect.
And he says you might get mad about this, but he wants me to ask you this anyway.
Uh-oh.
So,
Oh boy.
Chris, this is on you, and it's because I love you. All right. But Chris asks, hey, Vern, can you ask Bob about the Party Down revival?
Oh, well, I mean, I was expecting a lot, more controversial questions.
What's
Party
the
Down was a show on Stars, maybe I want to say around like 2009, 2010, something like that. It only went for 2 years, but was fantastic, and had a pretty big cult following because it was. It was a great concept and it was very well executed, but it also had a who's who of actors you would know now that weren't necessarily huge then. Like it starred Adam Scott, Lizzie Kaplan, Ken Marino, Martin Starr, Ryan Hansen.
That sounds great.
Jane Lynch. Yeah, just like a murderer's row of comedy stars. And then the conceit was they worked for a cater waiter company.
Oh!
Every episode,
Oh my God! I know what this is now. I've seen episodes for this.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Is it amazing?
The episodes I've seen were really good, but then I don't have stars anymore. I had stars for a little bit. I had like one of those free trials of stars.
Yeah.
And people were recommending the show.
But they don't make the show anymore, correct?
Well, they're doing a revival now.
Okay.
So
that's where the revival comes in. Sorry, rainbows.
Yeah. And I think it was so well received critically, at least, that it could have gone on longer. But I think maybe Stars at the time was we're kind of pivoting from comedy to Spartacus and Black Sails and more action stuff. But it's coming back for a revival. They just wrapped filming, I've heard, and it's most of the original cast coming back. But,
so kind of like wet.
More about
what
it.
Is that? The wet hot American Summer, right? Where it was like a cult thing, and then they bring them back. Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
and some
That's
of the
cool.
same people, like Ken Marino was in both of those. I'm trying to remember who else was in Wet Hot, but but yeah,
so many people. Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Paul Rudd, I think, is one of the original. I'm speaking a bit out of school here because I've only heard all this stuff secondhand, but I believe he was one of the original, co-creators and producers of Party Down, along with Rob Thomas and a guy named Dan Etheridge and a guy named John Enbaum, who were all part of the Veronica Mars and iZombie, inner circle as well.
That's so cool.
So I'm excited to see
That'll be fun to watch.
Yeah.
I got to get Stars back anyway because I'm an Outlander gal.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
See,
It's a real treat for us ladies.
I'm much more a fan of buying. I gotta buy all the DVDs
Of what?
Party Down.
Oh yeah.
I'm much more of putting the discs in or the VHS and just watching it that way.
You like to palpate your
I
media.
would. I do.
Yeah.
I like to feel it in my hand.
Right.
I like to smell
I
it.
feel like you might have a hard time obtaining Party Down VHS tape, but there may be DVDs out there. So
I'm sure there's some bootleg copies out there somewhere I can find.
maybe.
All right. So I got
a laser disc.
Laserdisc. I would love that. Special commentaries. So, Bob, between working on Cobra Kai and iZombie, and I know you did some work on the Veronica Mars movie, what has been your favorite? I know they're all your favorites right there, but do you actually have one show you kind of working on more, or?
I mean, it's all very cool, and it's all been a progression for me as far as my level of experience and comfort and responsibility and all that stuff. So it's been every year, every show has been a different kind of experience, and I certainly have enjoyed the opportunities I've had to be on set and acting as a producer is probably a bit of a, overestimation of what I do, but just to be there in the mix and stuff is fun, which I got to do last season on Cobra Kai, which was great. And I got to do, to a certain extent, the last half season of iZombie, which was very cool. And that one, on a more personal level, that one shot in Vancouver. So I got to go back to Canada for a bit. And, that had an added, nostalgic / homesick alleviation element to it. So that was great. I mean, one thing that we haven't talked about that might be on the list is the very first thing I did was a web series with Rob called Play It Again, Dick.
Oh, okay.
Tangentially connected to the Veronica Mars universe, but more of like Ryan Hansen was playing himself, who was trying to get a show, like a spin-off show dedicated to his character, whose name is Dick Casablancas, trying to get his own show off the air. And so half of it is the scenes he's written for the pilot of that show, and he's wrangled all of his friends to come, play and basically do it as a favor for free in the world he created. And then the other half was him playing a version of himself that's, pretty over the top and ridiculous. So that was the first thing I did, and it was super, kind of low budget. And the guy who directed it is a friend of mine named Viet Nguyen, who's done a bunch of stuff since then in TV directing. So that was just really cool because it was the first thing I ever did, first thing I ever really got to be on set for. And I didn't, really have a clue what I was doing, but Rob was busy with other stuff at the time. We were in season 1 of iZombie. And so he wasn't around that much, which meant on set, people were asking me questions, and I got to feel like I was, important.
You were like, "Look at this beard. I'm in charge."
Exactly.
That's right. Yeah, you get to put the beard to use.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun, and I got to meet. Like when I worked on the Veronica Mars movie, I was more of an office assistant, so I didn't really get to hang out on set much. Never got to meet, not never, but barely got to meet too many of the actors involved. But this time I got to have conversations with these people who I'd been, working with Rob. I'd been watching Veronica Mars over and over again. And so, it was a really cool, kind of first, I guess, Hollywood type experience for me. And
that's awesome.
It couldn't have been a better environment for it,
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know, listeners, you can probably might hear some background noise. It kind of sounds
Not
like
quite sure what that
we're
is.
outside. Like for some reason, the back walls open up, and suddenly
and then there's a helipad back there.
There's a helipad back there. We're doing this the president press style, where they always like the helicopter.
It makes us feel like we're important. We dropped several dollars on that.
Yes, we did. Just to add that, Harrier
right.
Jet hang out with us. But really quickly, Bob, as a writer, and this is something I want to get into a little bit right now. What shows, sitcoms, do you feel were kind of influential for you as a writer? I mean, looking back.
Well, let me ask you this.
Okay.
What I'm not sure what counts as a sitcom anymore.
That's true.
I mean,
it changes.
When I was a kid, it was live in front of a studio audience and a half hour long is what a sitcom meant.
With that canned laughter.
Canned laughter.
Right. Yeah. And now, of course, there's, many half-hour shows that are very comedic that have no laugh track or no audience. There's many that are a half hour and have some humor, but are certainly not traditional comedies in terms of a joke every, 10 seconds. So I don't know where the line is, but I mean, I grew up with the latchkey kid kind of tradition of watching reruns from after school until dinner. So a lot of my favorite sitcoms are from that era, even stuff that was a little bit before my time, but was on after school when I was 10 or 12 years old, like Welcome Back, Kotter was one that we always used to quote all the time. Family Ties, Cosby Show, which I know we're not really allowed to talk about anymore, but back then when nobody knew, it was hilarious and obviously really popular. So that whole era was kind of like the seed, I guess, that, didn't necessarily get me thinking I wanted to write for television, but certainly made me fall in love with television. And as my babysitter, it was, it was quite attentive, I found, and entertaining. So nowadays, I really don't know, but one that I love right now is Dave on Hulu.
Oh,
which is rapper Lil Dicky.
Yeah, I've seen that. I haven't watched it, but I've seen it. I've seen previews, and I'm like intrigued, but I have yet to hit start on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm more of
it's not for everyone, but at least according to my informal surveys, but I really like it. And kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum, like as much as I love those sitcoms, I don't have any interest really in writing for one right now. It's such a small portion of the TV landscape now compared to what it was back then anyway. But something like Dave is on the other end of the spectrum, where it's certainly a lot more dramatic overall and a lot more serialized than a traditional sitcom, but also like pushing envelopes in terms of how the form can operate. Mm-hmm. So that sort of stuff interests me, although it's not like
when it came to sitcoms, a few that I've written down are ones that I think sort of changed the structure of the sitcom. All right, first one I've got to mention is All in the Family, because I think that one has been a huge inspiration for probably a lot of writers. I haven't wrote down Married with Children.
Why?
Yeah, I think that one has been a very good because it kind of like came out. It was one of the first shows when Fox came out, and it pushed a lot of buttons.
Oh, it didn't show like a traditional everybody's happy, everybody's great.
Yeah, it showed a family that sort of like hated each other and no one got along. I mean, this came out probably when Bob was talking about the Cosby Show being a big thing, and Cosby Show is like this all traditional sort of family, and then you have Married with Children. And what most people don't realize is that a lot of families are more like Married with Children. They're more like the Bundys.
Yes.
Than the Clintons. All right?
Yes.
And especially now, you can definitely see that. And then I had written on here that Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, so good.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yep.
Was another one. I think that when you come to like dramatic television, I think the Sopranos.
Oh yeah.
Was a big little game changer right there. South Park was another one.
South Park.
But yeah, like I said before, like television shows have changed, and people like, especially when The Office came on, people started doing that faux documentary.
Oh yeah.
Which went into Brooklyn Nine-Nine more, and yeah, I would like to see shows come back with a TV theme song again. I miss that so much.
Hey,
I miss the opening theme.
You know what? One of my favorite shows. In fact, I would say best show for me, and I play it on repeat when I'm like in between shows, is New Girl. It's one of my favorite shows. I put it on. This sounds really depressing, but I put it on when I'm like by myself, and I don't even really watch it. I'll do stuff around the house, but it's like I know all of the characters so well, and I know all of the episodes. It's like having friends in the house.
Yeah. See?
I have a sad life.
No, you don't.
I'm lonely. But they have an opening theme song.
They do. Oh,
yeah.
I will say this though, Bob. Peacemaker.
Oh, that is good.
I'm only about 4 or 5 episodes in, but I am loving it.
That theme song.
The opening scene credit is pretty great.
Is like my favorite thing.
Yes.
That has been a while.
My friend had me watch it, and I was like, what am I watching? Yeah. Well, first of all, I didn't even watch Suicide Squad.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, you gotta watch the Suicide Squad.
Well, I have now.
Okay, good. Okay.
But he had me watch the first episode of Peacemaker.
Yeah.
And then I was like, this is really good, but like I don't understand what's going on. He's like, you haven't watched Suicide Squad, you have to watch it. And I'm like,
not Suicide Squad, the
Suicide Squad, not the first piece of trash.
There's no such thing as like just Suicide Squad. No?
Yeah,
everything's got to be a the in front of it. That's why the Batman is probably going to be considered to be the best Batman, because there's a the in front of it.
It emphasizes.
That's the key.
That is.
Yeah.
I'm the Ashley.
This
is the Vern.
I am the Vern.
It's true.
That's a good point.
So there you go.
There can't be.
He's way ahead of the curve by like at least 30 years.
30 years right there. So this is the Vern out there. I think I'd be called Vern 2.0.
Yeah, I like the Vern. You just stick with that.
All right, fair enough here.
Don't try and upgrade yourself.
I'm not.
That's what I did.
That's true, yes.
I got Vern a haircut. I took him in for a straight edge.
She's my body, she's our consultant,
That's
my image consultant right there. She's the one like, if I'm going to be on camera with you,
I tried.
I got to change your look up there.
I can't always be the best looking person in the room.
I brought you on the show to be the best looking person on here, okay? No one's to see my old ass, all right, anymore.
I sharpened you up.
You did.
You're good.
And I appreciate that
That's
very
right.
much. So I want to have you on the show because you were adapting a movie into a television series, which is not an easy task. It's a very difficult task to try to like develop all these characters and make them into a long running show. All right. So I want to ask you this just for fun. Is there a movie from your past or youth or something that you really enjoy watching, a movie or several movies that you feel would make a good television show?
We seem to be having some technical issues right now. We will be returning to the Cinema Recall podcast very shortly.
Hey, Ashley.
Hey, man, what's going on?
I have created something truly extraordinary.
Oh, shit, for real? What's that?
It's called a podcast.
Vern, that has already been invented.
Yeah, but our show, Cinema Recall, we're going to talk about movies.
Oh, okay.
You know, like box office blockbusters,
Yeah,
foreign independent films,
gotcha.
musicals and animation,
Yeah, lots of people do that.
S-rated adult flicks.
Ew, Vern, no. What makes Cinema Recall different from the rest?
Well, we will be offering great content with a wide variety of guests on both our podcast platforms and YouTube as well.
Variety. Like, it covers many different genres of film?
Exactly. We want to be the show for fans of cult features like Howard the Duck, to be friends with fans of big blockbusters like Spider-Man No Way Home.
I still feel like so many other shows do that format.
Yeah, but I have two very attractive and good-looking hosts.
Vern, it won't matter if they're listening.
Maybe they'll enjoy the banter we have with each other and special guests. We can even make a show that includes all lovers of cinema.
From art house gems?
And raunchy comedies.
I like it. A show that celebrates all forms of entertainment.
Cinema Recall is available everywhere you find great podcasts.
The hell was that?
It's our voice promo guy.
Follow them on Facebook and Instagram under Cinema Recall Podcast and on Twitter at Cinema_Recall.
Vern, can we afford to have a voiceover guy?
We can't afford not to. He used to be a voice guy for movie trailers, but now he just follows me around and gives me movie trailer narration.
That's really sad.
What? Now we're giving him purpose in life. He now has a reason to go on.
Check out past episodes at cinemarecall.net. Promise it's fun!
We are now returning to the Cinema Recall podcast, already in progress. Big thank you to our sponsor, Mrs. Williamson's Fish Sticks, now made with real fish. Enjoy the show, folks.
Built-in mic and motherfucker. I don't know why. There it is. Wait,
Do we freeze already?
Built-in mic? No.
Plug that back in again, sorry. Unplug it, plug it back in.
Are you not hearing us? Is that the problem?
Oh, I'll tell you in a second.
Oh, son of a monkey's uncle.
No, I can hear
You can hear us?
y'all, but it's not muxing. Okay, plug that back in.
I'm
See.
trying.
Sorry, okay.
Live shows,
And then-
folks. It's
Live
all the
shows,
issues
baby, live
going
shows.
on
That says
with the
built-in.
live show.
Built-in mic?
Change to...
We could not.
Yeah, sorry.
Apparently, we're having some issues
Yep.
and people are not hearing us well.
No!
Damn it.
And I should definitely take the mic. You plug it into the thing. For fuck's sake, it should be fine.
For
I'm gonna
fuck's
find
sake.
some power to this, but we can't hear it now until. Let's try out. Wait,
Wait.
it says USB audio input. Can we hear him?
Bob?
Bob?
Hello, hello.
See, I've always been
I've
able
always
to
been
hear
hearing him,
though.
yeah.
No, I know.
But damn
So I
it,
just
anyway.
assume that if we can hear him on our end, that everyone else can sort of hear
Oh,
him.
boy. Yeah, Bob,
Bob, you
Can
there?
you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I've been
yeah,
able to
we-
hear you
yeah.
this whole time, but that's the thing. It's real,
Okay.
Yeah.
it's real
Everything's
touchy.
good? Yeah. We just got really tickly shit over here. Okay.
I tell you.
Sorry about that, folks. Little issues there. So we're talking about the Mighty Ducks as a TV show. Because like I said before, you start them with like little kids.
Yeah.
And they grow up each season.
Yeah.
That can last for like a long time. All right. And
now,
then...
Have you seen the Disney Plus Mighty Ducks show?
There's a... No, I've seen all the Mighty Ducks movies, but there's actually a show? I remember the cartoon show. The animated cartoon show?
No, just last year they came out with a new live action. That's kind of what you're talking about.
Vern, you're late to the party.
I'm always late to these things.
You had a good idea.
They had a new group of kids, and Emilio Estevez is in it for
really?
a bit. And,
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, they bring back some of the old Mighty Ducks from the movie as well.
That's like when I said they should bring back a whatchamacallit, but put peanut butter in it. And lo and behold, they did that already. I thought I had a great idea.
Okay.
I didn't.
All right.
All original ideas are gone.
Fair enough.
Damn it.
All right. Now, I have thought of other movies here that I would like to have turned. I would say like movies like Magnolia or Boogie Nights. Licorice Pizza could easily be turned into a series. But mostly like Magnolia because there's a lot of characters in that one that could easily be turned into a soap opera drama. Definitely see that.
I can't say I've ever seen that.
It's fair enough. Tom Cruise.
Oh, yeah, that's probably why.
Juliette Moore is in there. And it's a whole mosaic. And it's a long movie, but it has so many characters in this movie. And it goes back and forth between them. And I love the movie, but if you slow things down and turn it into a series... it can still have raining frogs in like the 5th season. In fact, all the 5th season would just be raining frogs. The whole entire season. Every scene.
Is it still raining?
There'll be a raining frog going on there. That's it. That would be the
I'd have to skip that whole season.
No, that'd be the most epic season.
Frogs are terrifying.
That's where everything happens is in that season.
No, I don't like
That's where
I don't like frogs.
Change.
Nope. You lost me at frogs. I'm sorry. You don't get to pick. You don't get to live on land and in water. Pick a habitat, you creepy alien animals.
Creepy. But I'm thinking like Boogie Nights about the porn industry.
Sure. That would be. Yeah, you can write a lot about that.
Fun little series about that. Yeah. So
I said Flight of the Navigator. I think he could have went on way more adventures. That would have been really fun.
Yeah. I have still yet to see Flight of the Navigator.
Yeah, you suck balls.
I'm behind on what I'm going to be watching here. Is that.
Jeez, Vern.
But yeah.
How about you, Bob? Can you think of any movie as a kid that maybe you thought we could have really flushed this story out a little bit more?
Well, the one the type of movie that always kind of suggests at least a miniseries is the type of movie that, tries to condense a historical, event or period into 3 hours or less. So like Alexander would be, not a great movie, but that story's amazing, and you could do a 10-year series and still not turn over every stone.
Okay.
Gangs of New York comes to mind.
Oh, that would be good. Yeah.
Series version of that. Anything that tries to encapsulate something that cannot be encapsulated in 3 hours.
Yeah.
You talk about Scorsese, Casino, is another one that comes out of mind. The whole rise and fall of Vegas casinos back in the day.
Oh, yeah. They could really have drawn that out.
I think Starz did a series about that. Not Star Wars. Starz, the channel Starz, where the party down is it? Yes,
like, what?
Star Wars did a Martin Scorsese remake.
No, I thought you just meant Star Wars had a TV show.
I would love that.
I was like, what?
Star Wars They did have a TV show.
They did have a TV show, but that's not.
They had TV special, not.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I will take that back now. They do have TV shows now. They have several TV shows now on Star Wars, and yet, how come they have not made a movie about that band that plays the cantina, and also Jabba the Hutt's band, the little blue guy that right there needs to be.
If they took that band and they followed them all over the galaxy. And just all of the crazy things that happens in the bars across the galaxy, that would be a great comedy. It would be so good. God.
I would absolutely love that. Yeah. We are going to get wrapped up here shortly. Just watch this. We're going to get wrapped up.
And then everything will work perfectly.
Will sound perfectly. Yeah. It'll be like the best 2 minutes of the show ever. Right. All right.
Okay, it's the best 2 minutes. That's right.
But I do want to thank you, Bob, for taking time out of your day to just kind of sit around and bullshit with us. Big shout out to you.
Oh.
You know, tell me, man, do you have anything new upcoming that you want to plug?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, thank you guys for having me. It's, I don't have the notoriety that would that would warrant many interviews, and so any opportunity I have to make up stories about myself,
I love it.
I'm happy to take it.
We believe every minute of it.
Great. I'm just working on a new show right now that hasn't come out yet. Just it's with the guys who started Cobra Kai, and hopefully it comes out on Netflix in another year or two. Year and a half, something like that. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to talk about it too much, but that's what's keeping me busy these days, so that's fun. And then otherwise, just trying to noodle on my own ideas so that maybe, one day I could do a show of my own. But that is a task that takes a little more, excuse me, a little more motivation than I've been able to conjure of late. So I've been enjoying some leisure time in between gigs, and that's good enough for me.
Hey, so real quick, do you have one dog? 2 dogs?
Yeah,
one dog.
One
dog, because your white pup died,
passed
right?
away,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a couple years ago. Yeah.
You did accept my Instagram request follow. I appreciate that. I was like liking all of your dog pictures. I was like, oh, dogs. Oh, look at the puppy.
Yeah, well, I feel like that's what Instagram is for, is taking pictures of your animals, right?
Yes, yeah.
Now we're getting into our comments here that people can't hear Bob. It's like Bob is going in and out here, so I'm pretty sure that this is going to be recorded.
Yes,
live.
It's been recorded, so
the sound will be there.
Even though the video is shit, the audio for the video is garbage. Be fine for uploading
for the podcast. I'm hoping that people can actually hear the podcast.
Oh my
that'll
God.
be posted on Friday. We've never had these type of things happening before. So it seems like every time we get onto the microphones, we even got here early to set things up.
Yeah,
everything's to be fine.
Well.
But big shout out to you, Bob. Thank you very much, man. I'd love to have you come back on here again.
Maybe when our shit's working right.
Our shit was working. Hey.
Yes.
All right.
Amazing.
Anytime. Just let me know.
Thanks, Bob.
Oh,
you're the best.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Before we wrap up here, gotta quickly plug a few things. First of all, head on over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/cinemarecallpod. I'm going to be posting some bonus episodes with my good buddy Donnie Roberts. We're going to be talking about the movie Freaked, so you can definitely check out that episode. Hopefully it'll be posted on Monday. And then going forward, we're going to be doing the Patreon show on Monday.
Yep.
Our live show on Tuesday. The audio of that will hopefully upgrade to upload. Yep. To our Spotify and Stitcher and all places to find podcasts. That happen on Friday, and that's kind of how we're going to be doing the show going forward. Now,
that's the hope.
Next week we will not have a guest on. Next week is just going to be just you and me. All right, and
the pressure will be off.
That's going to be good because we're going to be able to work on our technical issues. Because the last few weeks, we've always had a guest on.
Yeah.
All right, which has been amazing.
Which is awesome.
I've been loving it, and I love the connections there. But next week, we're just going to do a show just ourselves right now.
All right.
Not sure exactly what we're going to be talking about, but please head on over to cinemarecall.net. Definitely join our Crack Facebook group. Go to facebook.com. Look up Cinema Recall's awesome cinematic club. Called Crack, yes, become a crackhead. And we will all see you very soon. Don't forget to check us out on the Twitter sphere at cinema_recall, and then Facebook, Instagram at Cinema Recall Podcast. What am I? Did I my nose?
No, you almost poked me in the eye like 8 times.
Did I? So this is go to our show. At cinemarecall.net. All right.
You did it.
Yes.
You did it.
Ladies, everyone.
Yeah.
Big thank you to you, Bob.
Thank you, Bob. You're the best.
Thank you, guys.
Peace out, everyone.
Thank you.
This podcast is a proud member of the Lamb Podcasting Network. Find the network at largeassmovieblogs.com.